there's a battle raging here in this province, and there's a couple of people on one side and a couple of people on the other, which is necessary for any battle. Greg Malone is one of the people who are basically totally speaking out for the total elimination of a chemical called Tordon 101, which is also known as Agent White, apparently, used after Agent Orange. It's being used to clear brush in the city, and some people say it's safe to use. The city of St. John's voted recently not to totally ban it, and there's a group of people, including Greg, who have taken the time and to speak out against it. And we have Greg on the line here tonight. Greg, how are you this evening?
Good, how are you?
Greg, this is tough stuff, isn't it?
It is tough stuff. It's really hard to see it going down, and to see the people who are responsible for putting this stuff on the province are not really aware of the science and of the dangers of these products. So I can't believe they would put them on. They would spray them on us again if they were aware of how toxic and how poisonous they really are to our children.
I guess from their point of view, just to jump to the other side, they feel that they're able to effectively clear brush quickly and probably in a more inexpensive method than some of the other methods, but obviously that comes with a lot of other side effects and implications that your group is speaking out against.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's face it, you can do a lot of stuff cheaply and quickly if you're willing to take the risk. But, you know, we have the highest cancer rates in Canada, and we have escalating rates of what they call neurobehavioral disorders, ADD, autism, those kinds of things. And, you know, the Janeway is full there. We can't afford to take care of our children. There's all kinds of these new neurobehavioral disorders coming online. And below the detectable ones is a whole other level of brain interference. These are all neurotoxins. Tordon 101 is a neurotoxin. There's not, like every medical association out there, the Lancet in Great Britain, the preeminent medical journal, has said it's a pandemic, a silent pandemic, causing brain damage in our children. And they warned that it's a crisis. And you know, the Ontario Medical Association has said that it should all these pesticides should be banned, and they banned them there. Their children are protected, and in Nova Scotia, their children are protected. And of course, all of Europe, there's about 120 countries that have banned this, and yet we're willing to take a chance and spray it on us once again and risk the mental health of the children of Newfoundland.
What's the hold up here? What do you think is making this behavior persist?
Boy, I don't know. I'm so flabbergasted that I have had to get involved, even though I'm very, very busy and can't really afford the time, or, you know, like all volunteer work. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand why. I think there are a lot of people out there who are concerned about it, but who are not really aware of how really bad it is. We carry a pretty heavy toxic load here in Newfoundland. You know, of course, everyone's affected by fire retardants that are in foam and clothing, and, you know, stain-resistant things, and the chemicals involved in all that, fire retardants and plasticizers, they all get in your blood. We all carry chemicals called phthalates and PCBs and bisphenol A and B in our blood and in our cells, and every child born has this chemical load now that they carry of these toxic chemicals, pesticides in particular, and these other chemicals out of the, you know, from the furniture industry and the food industry that we can't get rid of, that we store in our bodies and pass on to our children. They interfere with brain development, and they interfere with your gender development and all of reproductive development. And we are really, you know, causing ourselves untold damage here. And so intelligent countries have banned, we're doing it to keep the weeds down, let's face it. Mm-hmm. We're doing it to keep the weeds down here in Newfoundland on the side of the road. I don't think that risk is acceptable. They're saying that it's the cheapest way possible. I don't care if it's the cheapest way possible. Get creative and find another way. You know, for one thing, you're damaging the water table irreparably. This stuff, they all know it's volatile. It's carried by water, it's carried by air. They only spray it on, by the way, in non-windy days. Mm-hmm. Find a non-windy day in Newfoundland. Even then, there's air movements and air currents. They never stop, and they take it, and they carry it. And then you have it in the air, and you have it in the water. And, of course, we have, bogs. Every 2 feet you go. Every 10 miles there's a river on the Trans-Canada. And in between that, there's all kinds of streams and bogs and ponds. There's water everywhere. So it's going everywhere.
Greg, you're a smart man, and I'm sure you getting involved in this has really done a lot to raise this issue in this province. Have you been receiving a lot of support?
I have, actually, and it's increasing. People are aware that we actually had the forum. It takes a while for people to find out, I think. If we had the money and time for better advertising, we may have had more people. We had a good turnout, but I think there's a lot more out there who are concerned about it and would like to do something about it. Because it is a real problem and something that we can avoid so easily by just hitting ourselves over the head with a hammer, sort of. We don't need to spray ourselves for one more year. Since the 50s, since World War II, we have been spraying ourselves with an awful lot of chemicals. One scientist said we have made ourselves the subject of a chemical experiment, and we have no idea of the outcome, as human beings, right? But in places where they have restricted and banned stuff, they have found that your chemical loads in their children goes down. You know what I mean? When you stop eating a lot of food grown on pesticides, your pesticide residue in your blood goes down. And pesticides is herbicides and insecticides, really,
And there's been some changes with regards to the fertilizers and the weed killers that people have been put under lawn, but I guess what you're saying is they've still got a long way to go.
Well, they're allowed to, you're not allowed to put them on your lawn in Newfoundland, but you can put them in your flower garden or your vegetable garden. Mm-hmm. You can put them on your golf courses and your recreational fields. You can put them on along the side of the highways, where people are stopping in their cars and getting out and going, in the summer and any time of the year. There's always a lot of people going into the woods and into the ponds and stuff in the country around, off the highway.
They're getting their blueberries right off the side of the highway in September.
Absolutely. And the power lines, you should never pick anything for the power lines on the side of the road because of the heavy pesticide use. Mm-hmm. And we're soaking the country in this. I really don't think we need to do it. We've been doing it for a long time now, and we've got quite a load here. And, you read... Also, like these pesticides equals Parkinson's. Like Parkinson's, my father, God love him, he, when we moved to Bambutt Avenue, he was very proud of the trees in the garden, and so he sprayed them to keep them free of bugs. And he would put this thing on his back that he got, always had the gear, and he pumped this pesticides up into the trees around the house, and he did it for the neighbors too.
No mask, no nothing.
No, and he got Parkinson's, and had it for 17 years before he finally died. And of course, since then, the links to Parkinson's have been known for decades with these pesticides. But there's every medical association, every country with a medical association has practically banned them.
Are you looking now at are you going to take this to the city council and look at it on a smaller level, or are you going to try to deal with this provincially? What's your next step?
Well, I think we have two petitions that we are circulating, one for the federal government and one for the provincial government, and we should have another for the municipal government and encourage them here too. But we're trying to get I'm glad I'm talking to you tonight here, because I think if the public gets informed about the consequences of using these chemicals of convenience, they will vote no to them, because I think we need a change in our thinking and understanding about what is being used in our immediate environment. There's a lot of stuff we can't stop, You can go to the supermarket or you can buy environment-friendly stuff. That's great, and you reduce load that way. But we can really do a lot here if we stop the dumping of literally tons and tons and tons of neurotoxins on our environment here and in Labrador. And on that power line, that huge power line right through the wilderness, they're going to dump tons of pesticides for convenience. I'd say find another way to do it, guys. Get creative, employ people, employ machines, and do something.
And before I let you go, if someone wanted to get involved with your group, Greg, how would they go about it?
They go to CAPNL is the name of the group, which is Coalition for Alternatives to Pesticides. And I'm just looking now for our email. Well,
I'm sure if someone could Google that, they'd probably come across you guys.
They will come across.
And what about the petitions? How can they help you out there?
And the petition, we had a petition there at the forum, and we're going to get a petition up online, and so people will be able to see that one soon.
Well, listen, Greg, it's a great story, and it's good that as busy as you are, Greg, what is as busy as the artist is, they see something that they're passionate about, and they get out there and speak about it. It's good on you, Greg, and listen, keep us informed, okay, as you have some as the petition gets online and as you get some more events together, keep in touch with us, because I'd love to hear more about this.
Well, I certainly will, and I really appreciate taking the time to talk to me tonight. It's great.
No sweat, Greg. Thanks a lot. Okay, bye-bye. That's it, Greg Malone. People are just starting to learn about this Tordon 101 Agent White. I mean, it's something that's probably going to be sort of get the hair standing up on the back of your neck. Something that's been used since the Vietnam War, and just what it might be doing to the environment.